You opened your eyes in a world you didn't recognize. A pig wandered past you. It stopped and stared with wide, traumatized eyes. If it could speak, it probably would have told you much about this place. You gathered wood and crafted tools. The sun was setting fast. You ran through the darkening woods, hoping you wouldn't spend your first night outside. A massive wooden building behind the trees, filled with villagers and warm light. You paid for a guest room. It felt good to have a door between you and the forest. Next few days fell into a strange routine, where you spent mornings putting out sudden wildfires in the forest. Somewhere along the way, a magical creature called a Pixen started following you. It didn't want anything from you. It just gave you a speed and jump boost. It scurried behind you on its little legs, looking completely ridiculous. A villager asked for a favor. A heavy chest sat in the corner, locked tight. You took out a wooden lockpick. The wood broke. You crafted more and sat there on the floor. And failing to pick the lock over and over, while planning tomorrow's journey. The lock wouldn't turn. You were out of tools and time, and decided to leave the chest to its secrets. The next morning, the flying creature that kept setting the forest on fire was drifting lazily up into the sky. Before leaving the yard, a quick glance at the quest board showed tasks that were way above your current skill level. Time to move on. The little magical Pixen was gone too, disappearing as quietly as it arrived. After a long trek, the landscape shifts completely. Water partially swallows the earth, pooling around the roots of submerged trees. Tiny waterfalls spill over the edges of a flooded lawn that wraps around a massive structure. But looking closer down into the depths, this isn't a swamp at all. Bright corals bloom beneath the surface. It's the sea. High stone walls rise directly from the water, guarding a hidden city. Quiet, forested shores surround it. Finding no obvious entrance from the outside, breaking through the stone wall with a pickaxe seemed like the most logical choice. Inside was a villager alongside a creature with butterfly wings. It fluttered close, magically healing the scratches and exhaustion from the road. This whole section of the city felt like a quiet sanctuary for the weary. Suddenly, a dragon soaring high above. It was flying in the opposite direction. Inside one of the large houses was a massive wooden table. Stone furnaces radiated heat throughout the room. Rooms were incredibly spacious, but strangely bare. And there were no beds for sleeping. Residents hurried downstairs at the noise, but you slipped out quickly, leaving them confused. Night was falling fast, and finding a place to rest was becoming a real problem. House after house, the story remains the same. The residents take shelter inside, chatting peacefully by the warmth of their fires. It seems as though this entire city has forgotten how to sleep. The residents requested a favor to check upper floors. Every night, a strange noise echoed from upstairs. and no one had the courage to investigate. As you followed the sound, you discovered and checked several chests. Rooms breathe an old, dusty silence. Dust motes dance in the moonlight filtering through the windows. The shelves are packed with ancient, forgotten books. The wooden chairs haven't been moved in years. You wandered through more strange, empty rooms. Right there. Maybe it was just a ghost. A long, winding staircase eventually led all the way to the roof. From up here, the entire night city lay before you. The streets were bathed in warm, golden light, safe behind the high stone walls. Slow Iron Guardian paced the silent alleys. A sea of glowing corals wrapped around the edges. Looking down from that height, jumping with Waterdrop seemed like a great idea. The first landing on a lower roof wasn't perfect. A second drop broke the fall and the second foot. Overall, a surprisingly successful descent. Inside the next house, another villager pointed to an old, rusted chest. This time, the lockpick didn't break. The owner generously offered a share of the treasure. The atmosphere outside is perfectly calm. Walking the empty night streets feels like stepping through a painting. In the morning, you saw the dragon again and fell right into the courtyard fountain. Soaking wet, you walked into building nearby. An inn. Finally, row after row of empty beds, now you knew where to sleep tonight. Wandering the halls, the forgotten chests offered a small fortune. Leather, medicine, iron scraps, rare ironberry seeds, heaps of bread and cooked eggs. The city was waking up, but you didn't have to work today. A warm bed waited upstairs. The rest of the world could wait until tomorrow.